Okay. So we've spoken to all of our teammates here.
Commander.
Don't know of anything else from Trainer or our emails. So that means we're looking at our journal here. We still have a lot of things for exploration. We have Leviathan. We have, the DLC-based missions, yes. We've all the ones with Aria that are tied to those mercenary groups from Mass Effect 2, but those I was thinking we would combine with one of the DLCs, Mega DLC, and so I think we're holding off a bit on those, and so perhaps that means it is time to head back to the Citadel, and I know we just spent a lot of money, so not so much to purchase things, but to check out Priority the Citadel, which is technically what? Citadel 1 is super early on, Citadel after Mars, Citadel 2 is the coup, and then this would be Citadel 3? There are enough Citadel priority missions that I'm losing track, is my point. But anyways, so the Asari Counselor wishes to talk privately about a matter pertaining to the war effort. Oh, actually, there was one other thing that I wanted to do before this. I mean, we could still do that, just to get the intel. But yeah, I did have something else in mind. Yeah. In fact, this would be it. Asari High Command has requested help dealing with a distress signal on an Asari colony. Go to the colony and investigate the situation. So this was something that we got a little while ago, not as long ago as the Turian Platoon and Turian Bomb missions, but I think it was, post Tuchanka, I want to say, in which it might have been the Asari Counselor who said there was some pretty important, again, kind of secretive situation that they wanted us to sort out on this location. So don't have a lot of details in this case, much like we didn't have a lot of details about the Turian Platoon. So some similarities there, for sure, just rather than helping the Turians this time, we would be helping the Asari. So this is another one that we deliberately waited a little bit on for a very specific reason that we will perhaps be learning quite soon. So why don't we do this before we do Priority Citadel? Technically speaking, I think we did get the quest item for the Cerberus automated turret schematics, so we could turn this in, potentially get a little bit of money from it, and maybe we could use that money to do something, but since we currently have 500 credits, probably not. Don't think we're going to get enough credits from that mission to do anything meaningful. So no, I don't think it makes a lot of... I mean, like, we might get experience. Are we about to level up? We aren't about to level up, so it's not like we're going to level up just from turning that in. So I think we're fine here. I think we can just do that Cerberus, or rather the Citadel stuff, all at once when we are done with this mission here. So let's hop back in to the Citadel map, or rather, the Galaxy map. Okay, so that's Tuchanka. And for a very long time, we had 1, 2, or even 3 missions on this planet. But finally, it seems, our business here may be done. I'm trying to think of, have we ever been this low on credits? Like, even at the very beginning of the game, I'm pretty sure you start with more than 500 credits. Was there ever a time where we spent so much money on upgrades that we went this low? I think we probably had a tiny bit more remaining than this, because, like, if we need fuel to get to this place, for example, let's just say I hope we don't, because we might not be able to afford it if we do. It's here, in the Nimbus Cluster, investigate Asari Colony. I believe, as you can see here, based on how we explored it to 100%, that we have already tracked down everything else that there is to track down. Actually, let's do a quick check for... Whoa! Exploration-y stuff. Zillion Nebula is just 10%. Wow. Okay. That might be worth taking a quick stop over there first. Because, as we've said previously, when possible, we would Oh, Hades Nexus is also new. We have a bunch, I mean, I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of exploration-based quests that are over here. So yeah, I think maybe after finishing Priority Rannoch in the Perseus Vale, we had new areas that opened up to us. Because we were looking for this previously and we just did not have access to it. But yeah, we do appear to have some places we would like to explore before we start finishing all of our missions, because remember that if we do explore a place and get ourselves chased out by Reapers, then that means that those Reapers will continue to occupy that area until we finish a mission, and so it's a way to give ourselves a reset. If we do a bunch of exploration now, maybe get the Reapers mad at us, then do this Asari colony mission. That way we can circle back later on and finish things up, tie up those loose ends. But as I said, I do think Hades Nexus in particular, I remember seeing that a bunch of our exploration quests were based here, because we were looking at Hades Gamma and thinking, what? I thought we were supposed to find something here. And I was like, no, that's Hades Gamma, not Hades Nexus. So let's check it out. Okay, so we did see that there was an indication there is some Reaper presence here, so it may mean that this place is going to get flooded pretty quickly. And generally speaking, I think what we've determined we want to do is I definitely just found something here. Yep. Okay, let's scan this.
Signal confirmed.
It's probably fuel. And this will remain scanned even if we leave now, because we're at 100% fuel, so we definitely don't need it right now. But, since we're pretty much broke, we might need fuel in the future, so this could be a way to get it back quickly and efficiently. But, in the interest of not having Reapers chase us down in the mass relay system, let's deliberately focus on the other areas first. So, we have Hoplos, we have Yacht, we have Shoal. I'm getting the sense this is a pretty big area, which might explain why there were so many quests that were based on... That's just the mass relay, I think. That sound effect? But yeah, that would explain why there's so many quests in this area. Okay, so Hoplos is probably closest. I'm thinking we go start at Hoplos, and then go counterclockwise, and hopefully we have enough fuel to get to Shoal. And worst comes to worst, if we don't have enough fuel to get from Shoal back to Hecate, then we run out of fuel, it'll take us back to the mass relay system, we get a free ride back. So I think that's the route we take here. Okay, this system is quite small comparatively. This is just like too good value to pass up. 3 planets in 1 scan, almost certainly. Well, let's start by just reading up a little bit on Aegis. Hydrogen-helium gas giant, Aegis was the site of an unparalleled cosmic event roughly 1.8 million years ago. An extrasolar body, about 200 square kilometers in size, was drawn into Aegis's gravity well and struck the Jovian planet, blasting enough dust and material into orbit to create a ring. It's a recent addition, at least by galactic age standards. An urban legend has grown over this event. The story goes that if the extrasolar body, usually called a comet, was unaffected by the gravity well of Aegis, it would have coincided with an orbit of Trident and created an extinction-level event on that planet. Prevailing scientific opinion holds that this is an exaggeration at best. Take that to mean that Trident, perhaps, as we see here, may have a significant presence on it. A human-dominated world with over 95% of its surface covered by salt water. Trident is home to a dazzling array of life. The oceans are filled with creatures ranging from tiny bivalves to mammoth vertebrates unequaled even by Earth's whales and ichthyosaurs. And those are fish, right? But there are what? There are 2... Was it classes for fish? Forget what level in the kingdom, phylum, so on and so forth, they fall under, but, like, I mean, whales, obviously, blue whale's huge, but what's the biggest fish is a whale shark, right? I think? Still don't think that comes anywhere near blue whale size. It seems a little bit odd that you're throwing that in the same category, same scale here, but small archipelagos create what little land there is, and its valuable real estate is fought over constantly. This is still in the middle of terminus systems, or at least, if not terminus systems, the Attican Traverse, where it's a conflict zone for sure. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that there would be a lot of crime here. Underwater extraction operations have recovered a number of valuable minerals from the ocean floor, including iridium, uranium, and dust form element 0. A largely lawless world, not so surprising again, Trident is home to a rogues gallery of unethical corporations exploiting the resources of the planet and actual rogues, criminals, slavers, and mercenaries working the shadows. Travel advisory. Due to extreme weather conditions, all traffic to the surface is grounded, or watered, since it's mostly water. Trident Spaceport Control predicts this condition will persist until the end of hurricane season. Okay, it's 6.8 million people. I mean, it's obviously that's a decent chunk of people, but nowhere near the population of homeworlds or anything like that. It's 27 degrees Celsius, though. Pretty nice. Gravity similar to Earth. Atmospheric pressure a little bit thick, but not bad. Then we have Makira. A small rock planet, Makira's thin atmosphere and high albedo keeps it from being much hotter than it is. Crust is high in sodium oxide, giving the planet a whitish tinge. That's just 206 degrees Celsius, no big deal, really. Then you have Copus. There's a little moon. Makira's largest moon, Copus, is a desolate place with an extremely thin atmosphere. Its crust is largely silica-based, and there are no signs of water. Like its parent planet, its high albedo keeps it from being a total inferno, and when occluded by Makira, its temperature can be nearly tolerable. Its low gravity can easily be countered by a vehicular or personal mass effect field for comfortable exploration. That's just 51 degrees Celsius. Is that when it's blocked by Makira? Perhaps? Then Talaria. A rock with all traces of atmosphere burned away, Talaria orbits the star Hoplos at a blistering pace, every 26 days. Though tidally locked, even its twilight belt and shaded side are often too barren to support life. With so many resources on its sister planet Trident, Talaria has largely been ignored by the galactic surveying community. Little to no atmosphere, yeah, 908 degrees Celsius mean, and since it is tidally locked, that means that one side of the planet is always facing the star, the other is always facing away from the star. So if the average is 908, that means the side that is facing the star is presumably way, way higher than that. That's kind of scary. Okay, so what we could do is we could scan here where we can get 3 planets in one, which is tempting, but I think it might be worth quickly taking a look at our quest journal here, because as I said, I thought we had a ton of exploration-based quests in this area, and I'm wondering if perhaps, rather than playing the guessing game of trying to figure out which planet we ought to scan or which area we ought to scan, I mean, what if we just have the answer right here? Cillian Nebula, that's the other place that we've yet to, or we've only explored a tiny bit. We're on like 10%, but that is not where we currently are. Then Book of Arun is on Arun. I think we noticed that when we encounter it. That is, of course, the Volus homeworld. Hades Nexus. Okay, so, well, these would be the 2 places we're looking for then. So Prothean Sphere. A refugee suggested a Prothean Sphere could be located somewhere on the Diahinum in Hades Nexus. I don't think we saw that in this system, at least. Locate the sphere and inform the man of the Citadel refugee camp. Then Albus of Karza just says, I mean, I don't know if is Karza the name of the planet, it might be. And delivered to the person in the Presidium Commons. Takuna, that is, I mean, first and foremost, Takuna Matana, of course, but that is the homeworld for the Elcor, which I would also like to believe we would recognize if we saw it. So that may be it. I don't know if Dakuna is in the Hades Nexus cluster. It may not be. But, okay. So now that we have that in the back of our brains, do any of these names sound like they fit that description? I don't think so. So I think we do go for this scan here.
I found something.
Yep, maximum. I think we got all 4 of these in that scan. This is a small system. It is on Copus. I wondered if, given how there's this little moon here, it seemed like, you know, why would they let you even notice this moon if there wasn't something on it? Very rare that you see a moon with nothing on it. Similar to the asteroids that we've seen in some other systems, so let's see what this is all about. It is the Albus of Karza. Okay. Well, there it is. So, to answer that previous question, no, Karza is not a planet. It is on Copus, right there. That's 50% of the assets recovered. We've scanned, certainly all these 3. I think we still got Trident as well. That was another one that I would be somewhat interested in scanning, just because there's all this talk about it, and it seems like it's the most significant planet in this system, since it actually does have a colony on it. But usually we find there's one planet and one asset that is in the middle of nowhere. And given how we almost certainly only have one more scan, I mean, even with one more scan, I think the Reavers are going to chase us out here, that we got to be very mindful of where the scan is. So let's do a little bit of scouting. I think that was just Talaria. And the system is so small that even with this scan, the Reaper's going to potentially spawn right on top of us. Might complicate matters. Oh, there, yep, it's right here. And yes, that Reaper is going to be pretty darn close when we do this, so you know what? We'll do it. It's even closer. It's even closer. Okay, it's 250 fuel units. Let's go.
Evasion successful.
So we're capped back off at 1,000 fuel. That is nice, because as we were saying, we are basically broke right now and probably couldn't afford any fuel even if we wanted to get fuel. So that at least made, from a fuel standpoint, our trip to Hoplos over here free. So we got the Albus of Karza and fully restocked on fuel. Now, Hemiots. Okay. So let's see if we recognize any planet names here as ones that we are expecting to find something on. I don't think so. Don't think so. Unless there's something in this asteroid belt. Otherwise, we'll just do our usual read up on the planets and then, make up our mind. Volkov, hiding out here in the asteroid belt, does immediately make me suspicious. A dwarf planet, Volkov has a thick atmosphere of nitrogen and krypton. Home to a thriving iridium mining community, Volkov's reputation is summed up as rich but dangerous. Pirates often lurk behind Volkov's two moonlets, Zenevia and Elena, and cripple freighters leaving the atmosphere. To make matters worse, Volkov sits in the Chazov Belt, a field of asteroids and other small bodies, which leads to frequent meteor strikes on the planet. Meteor-related casualties remain rare, but on Volkov, the chances of such a death are high enough that they are factored into insurance premiums. Lovely. Population 3,800, so still quite small, and it is still quite cold and little to no gravity, and surprised the atmospheric pressure is that much. Wow. On such a small planet, it's able to hold that significant of an atmosphere? Okay. Anything else hiding in this asteroid belt? Doesn't seem like it, so that immediately makes me suspicious of Volkov here. But next... Oh, okay. Hold on. Did I hear something there? Apparently not. Oh, I did, though. Now I did. Okay, I think we gotta scan this while we have the option to do so, while we know it's here. Where exactly is it? Oh, it's further out this way. I was gonna say, like, maybe we try to get clever and scan other things simultaneously. I mean, it's close enough to Volkov that we could probably get them both like this. Otherwise, I think that's the only way we can potentially get a 2-for-1. Okay, that's like exactly half of our meter filled there. So, I mean, this will stay scanned for the time being. Let's continue to read up on the other planets, see if we get insights as to where else we might want to scan, because it's probably going to be on one of these planets. It might mean we go here and try to get a 2-for-1. Might even be able to go here and scan all 3 simultaneously. That'd be great. Fortunately, there are no Reapers on this side, so this is actually ideal. All the Reapers are on this side, so we can fairly easily make an escape route to the right or south. But then we have Hatsev, a rock planet encased in frozen oceans. Hatsev was notable for the largest written message ever created by a human being. What? Andrei Kobzar, a disgruntled miner whose fortunes were spent prospecting for EZO, used the mass accelerator cannon of a local mercenary group's A-61 Mantis gunship to carve a 208-kilometer-long message in the ice saying "Zdez nichego net," Russian for "there's nothing here," which I'm sure I have completely botched the pronunciation, but the message used to be visible from low orbit. Ironically, the message itself appears to have been melted away by another determined individual with heavy equipment, and now, truly, there is nothing here. Fitting. It's cold, little to no atmosphere, and gravity's right around that of Earth, but there's nothing there, so why would you even bother? Then we have Barbolsky. I wonder if that'd be kind of ironic if this planet happens to have something on it, like, it's all reverse psychology. We're trying to make you think there's nothing here, but in truth, if you do scan it, you'll find something. That would be clever. That would be clever. So, Dobrovolsky, another near Earth-sized rock planet without much atmosphere to speak of, Dobrovolsky is home to Altai Mineral Works, a local extraction company noted for its success in EZO refining. The planet itself provides aluminum for local fabricators, which are churning out habitats at an astonishing rate for a system that has no garden planets. With its ore supply coming all the way from the Shoal system, another area not that far away, Dobrovolsky is held up as the proof of the miner's cliche, where there's EZO, there's an economy. It's all it takes, in this case. And EZO, maybe that means there's something useful for us to scan there. Then Komarov, first charted by the Asari, but colonized by humans. The Pamyat system is home to Komarov, an Earth-sized body near the star. It has little atmosphere to speak of, but this has not stopped exploration by robo-miners who have recovered iridium from the planet's crust. So yeah, it just seems like very active mining system. Also, 55 degrees Celsius is not bad when you're this close to the star. I mean, I suppose that's still really hot, but compared to some other things we've seen. Okay, so I think, sure, we'll nab this. It's presumably fuel. We did, of course, use some fuel to get here, so it is somewhat meaningful. Just 100 units, though. That actually is not enough for us to get capped off. Now, the question for where is this last scan? Presumably it's on a planet, is where this last asset will be, because yeah, we're at 50%, so there's one more thing here. Can we get everything if we scan right here? Is our scan big enough to do that? We're going to try. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to get this. We should have saved first, just in case. But we're going to scan this, then we're going to run to the right, because all the Reapers come from the same area. Also, it would help if I actually scanned. Alliance Frigate Leipzig. Okay. Updating the Alliance First Fleet. Sounds good. Those are usually pretty big, but now we gotta go. The thing is, now we gotta go.
Reapers eluded.
Okay. So we should definitely still have enough fuel to get here to Shoal. Probably enough to get back the relay system as well. Whoa, this is tiny. Is this the star? What even is that? What's going on here? Oh, we heard reference to this. I think this is a place where we're expecting to find a quest item, if I'm not mistaken. Diahinum? Not sure how you pronounce it. A nearly atmosphere-less, tidally locked planet orbiting a red dwarf star. Okay, so that's our answer. It's a red dwarf star. It does look tiny. It doesn't even look like a star. Diahinum was the first place human explorers discovered a dedicated Prothean burial ground. While a few sites were saved for posterity, Eldfell Ashland Mining successfully lobbied to scout the rest of the planet for Element Zero, and soon was embroiled in a scandal. That name sounds familiar. Eldfell Ashland Mining. We've heard that thrown around. Forget when and where, though. And it might have specifically been in other sort of controversial situations. So what was the deal here? Mining teams were looting grave sites. Okay, well, that's, yes, gonna attract some negative attention, searching for Ezo and other treasures, and many got rich off the so-called cemetery business. While EAM officially brought a stop to the looting, its mining teams remain on the planet, prospecting the unclaimed territory and taking their ore to the Pamyat system for refining. Travel advisory. Armed conflicts have broken out between miners and scientists staking claims to Prothean ruins. Visitors are advised to employ security while exploring unknown regions of the planet. It does still have 11,500 or so people on it. And, even with little to no atmosphere, 35 degrees Celsius is not bad. 120 degrees Celsius is. Little to no gravity as well. So yeah, we're definitely scanning that. I think we just go for it.
I found something.
Because we could have just stood right here in the middle of the system, scanned once, and gotten absolutely everything. We might have still gotten absolutely everything. This might be the only thing here. We're about to find out. But as I said, we knew there was going to be something here, based on one of our other quests, and not like we would have, not like it would have been difficult to find it, even if we didn't double check. So it's a Prothean sphere. Now, did we get this from a grave site ourselves? Are we no better than all those criminals? Yeah, that is 100% recovered. Okay, so we're all set there. And that means now let's head back to Hecate. And we should... We'll have 500 fuel here. And remember, we scanned this, which should give us more fuel, we assume. In this case, it's 380. It's a good thing we saved this, because now it's almost enough to top us back off at 1,000. So decent fuel management there. Now we're assuming that this last asset, because that is 50% recovered, will be somewhere on one of these planets. Did we read about the planets? Or did we get distracted when we immediately found that other randomly located piece of asset stuffs, the fuel? I think we might have just completely ignored these initially. This does not sound familiar. Balthros. A rock and ice planet, Balthros is home to a scientific curiosity. Evidence of primate-like spacefaring civilization was found frozen in its equatorial ice, ranging from melted fragments of metal to preserved remains of the creatures still wearing suits of extravehicular activity. Wow. Advanced life at that, and preserved, it would seem, by all the ice. Further exploration revealed that their habitation centers were vaporized by orbital bombardments from railgun-like weapons hitting with a force of approximately 120 kilotons of TNT. Only those that fled or happened to be away from the habitats were preserved in the ice, where they died of asphyxiation. Lovely. This unknown species did not come from Asteria, but scientific teams are looking for evidence that they visited there. It is difficult to believe they would colonize a frozen rock like Balthros and ignore a lush garden world. Their world of origin is also a mystery. So yeah, for some reason, advanced life on this ice planet, but no signs of life on the garden planet, where presumably it would be much more fitting for people to be living later on a different planet in the system. Alliance Bulletin. Geth have been encountered in the Hecate system. All civilian traffic is prohibited. We're kind of close to the Perseus Veil. I guess that makes sense. But it's weird that we hear about Geth in this location and not in those other neighboring systems. Odd. Odd. That one also does sound kind of tempting to scan, because it has some history there. Makes you wonder if you might find something of some significance. A modestly sized gas giant with an icy core. Rheodia's hydrogen and methane atmosphere gives it a bluish color. It has 14 moons named after Asari virtues. Oh, what did we heard in the other location, in one of the other systems, that, the Asari discovered this cluster, or at least that system, first, but then humans were the one to colonize it first? So I guess that does still explain why some things would be named after Asari stuffs. Alliance Bulletin, again, Geth have been encountered in this system, so all civilian traffic is prohibited. Then two others here. Kerr. Interesting coloration there. A dry, desolate planet, Kerr is temperate but supports little life above the microscopic level. Its Earth-like temperatures and gravity make it an appealing place to build habitation hideaways, attracting Batarian slavers and criminals who can't afford more luxurious safe houses on other planets. Its forgiving nitrogen-helium atmosphere makes EVAs possible with a minimal amount of equipment. A breathing mask and warm clothing is usually sufficient. Mining and other legitimate activities are few and far between on Kerr. The planet's crust is largely free of precious metals, instead producing kilometers upon kilometers of dolomitic limestone, calcite, and gypsum. Geth, once again, have been encountered here, so don't go here. Yeah, -4 degrees Celsius, it's not out of the question. It's livable, it's unpleasant, but it's livable. Then Asteria, I think this must be the garden world in question, then? Yes, a habitable planet, known for its arid, sulfurous deserts. Asteria is colonized near the poles to avoid the uncomfortable temperatures that can reach 65 degrees Celsius in more southern latitudes. While the seas contain primitive animal life, little of it can live on land, leaving the soil to hardy plants that can survive in the extreme heat. Asteria is home to thriving human and Asari agrarian colonies, but little in the way of manufacturing or mining. So there's a travel advisory here. That is odd that there is what seems to be a somewhat significant colony here, and yet it's in an area that has been consistently attacked, or at least occupied by Geth. And this place does still seem to be standing. Carbon dioxide concentrations can reach 2,500 parts per million in Asteria's atmosphere. Citizens should carry supplemental oxygen for children and the elderly. Consult with local governments to discuss animal companion detection systems or other preparatory measures. Once again, Geth have been discovered, so don't go here. They've been encountered here. Whoa! 188 million. That's sizable. Very sizable number of people here. 25 degrees Celsius in the habitable zone is quite pleasant. Otherwise, gravity is Earth-like-ish. Atmospheric pressure, Earth-like-ish. It's not bad. Seemingly not bad. I think we can get one safe scan off here. In which case... And why don't we should save, just in case. We can push the limits a little bit more, but... I think we scan here, because we might be able to nab all these. And yes! That's what we're looking for. I don't think we filled our meter for the Reaper awareness, so it was on Asteria. The Garden World, I suppose, makes some sense. What is it, though? It is an Alliance frigate, the Hong Kong. Generally, I think, and that updates the Alliance 5th Fleet, that's the category that falls under. I think those updates have been worth a pretty sizable amount of war assets. In general, whenever we've been getting war assets out of our exploration, so I think we got a few of them there, and a couple of quest items as well, and now Hades Nexus, 100% explored. So that's very nice. So we now definitely have some stuff we could turn in at the Citadel, where perhaps, I think it's now 3 quests? That might be enough for it to be significant enough to warrant a trip there. But we also have the, where was it? The Cillian Nebula, which is at just 10% over here. I think maybe just to break up the exploration a little bit, let's head back to the Citadel. We'll turn in those quests, and then we'll see what's going on at the Cillian Nebula. So, I remember one of the people that we're looking to turn a quest into is in the Presidium Commons. Don't remember the others, though.
You're cleared to dock, Normandy. Do you need ground transport?
Yeah, so let's go to the Commons.
I need a cab to the Presidium.
It'll be there momentarily.
Okay, so as for where the person we're looking to turn this quest into is, and who that person is, that much I do not recall. So we're just gonna look around a little bit. I do remember after the Citadel coup, we were walking around this-ish area, and it seemed like everyone was giving us exploration quests, or some quests of some variety. So I feel like there's a good chance might be someone over here. I think the Albus of Karza person was... It's not you, is it?
Thanks again. If we can get it working, this jamming tech will make this place a lot safer.
Already gave you the stuff you were looking for. Yeah, I think the Albus of Karza was from a Bacterian who I believe is in the refugee area. That's obviously a different area. Down... the lower level, maybe? Not you, is it? That's a shop. Liara's still chilling there.
Hello, Shepard.
Hello, Liara. Don't think there are many quest-giving people in this little corner. More so once we get up here. I don't think it's you guys, though, because this is the CSEC office. Already gave stuff to you. Tali, what are you up to?
Of course. We can have ships at the colony in 36 hours. Do you need medical support?
No, evacuating the colony is more than enough. Thank you, Ambassador.
Ambassador?
I'm coordinating actions for the fleet while we're here. Evacuating colonies, bolstering Turian defense lines. I think it was right here. 3 years ago to the day.
What?
This was where Saren's assassins fired at me. I'd just gotten to the Citadel. I didn't think I needed my barriers up. My mistake.
Of course. That's a callback to Mass Effect 1, when we first met Tali, when she had some information that would have did incriminate Saren, and that's exactly what we were looking for. It's just that, Saren was it technically Saren, or was it actually the Shadow Broker who was hunting down Tali? And, we had to come to her rescue. And we did. Except in Mass Effect 1, of course, the Citadel has a different layout, and in that case, it was in the wards, kind of just outside and off to the side of Korra's den, where that happened, which, obviously, that doesn't exist here in Mass Effect 3, so, a little bit of artistic liberty there. This is exactly the place. So I guess we don't know where precisely that whole situation first came to be, but when we found Tali, that's where she was.
Saren had assassins after you?
Right. I disabled the Geth and found that recording that proved he was working with the Reapers. I went to Ilium and tried to inform the authorities, but Saren's mercenaries attacked me. I barely escaped. I stowed away on a Turian freighter and came out here. I thought I was safe.
I don't remember hearing about the Ilium part, though. Is that the first we have heard of that? Well, obviously, bit of a stressful situation.
You never told me about this. How bad was it?
Got me in the arm. They used polonium rounds. I was running a fever in minutes. It was the first time I'd been really hurt on my pilgrimage. I ran to the council embassy, asked for protection, offered the data on Seren. The Turian clerk called me Soot Rat. He threatened to have me tossed off the station if I didn't leave.
I wish that clerk could see you now.
He just did. That was him back there. I don't think he remembers me.
Oh, snap. Wow. Well, that... Oh. One of those situations where you want, oh, so much to just say, I told you so. To say, you rooted against me, and look at me now. But Tali, I mean, to her credit, kept her composure and didn't stoop to that level. Instead, a perfectly respectable conversation, and perhaps for that very reason, that disrespectful Turian may not have even realized that Tali was the person that he was very rudely insulting all those years ago.
And you're assisting him in spite of that.
This war is too big for old grudges. You showed me that. We are at peace with the Geth. I can't waste my time on a Turian who made me angry. Besides, it all worked out. I made it to the wards. You found me. Happy ending.
And now the Turians will get the aid they desperately need.
I nearly reminded him who I was. Made him apologize, rubbed his nose in it. Maybe he and I both needed to grow up a little.
The difference is that you helped when it counted.
Mm-hmm.
The difference was you.
Oh. Oh. And we actually get Defense Drone, Tali's bonus power, unlocked from that conversation. So, significant for that reason as well. And yeah, I do not remember having that conversation previously.
Everything looks so peaceful.
Oh. Her voice, the way it just cracked ever so slightly there. Getting all emotional. But yeah, I mean, I think that speaks volumes to Tali's maturity as a person. The fact that she was... What, is that the Turian dude right there? He just had overheard that entire conversation. It's like, Tali, you know I'm still right here, right? The whole part where you're saying that you wanted to rub it in my face that you were the one that I trash talked to previously, and now you're an admiral and ambassador apparently as well. Yeah, I heard all of that. So, you know, thanks. Thanks for thinking you held it back when in truth you really didn't. But anyways, a happy little accident there to run into Tali and, well, get a bonus power from all that. You did have a quest for us, kind of sort of at one point, but apparently not anymore. This is the person we're looking for.
These are control schematics for Cerberus turrets. Will these help?
Damn right they will. I'll have E-Crimes dig into them. Might even help us find the little presents Cerberus left for us. Thanks a lot. This is gonna save lives.
Awesome. Well, I hope it does. Hope it does. A little bit of reputation. I think we got some monies for that as well. Oh man, we're not completely broke. We are no longer completely broke. Look at that. It's amazing. It's amazing. I think we only had one of the quests that we were looking to turn in here. Where were the other ones then? We have... haven't done that one yet, but these two, the two Hades Nexus ones. So, refugee camp. Oh. Researcher. One for the Albus of Karza is here. Where?